joining us for more on President Buhari's address on insecurity at the United Nations General Assembly is the retired military officer Awwal Abdullahi Aliyu. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10. As it is, security is again at the center stage. It permeated virtually everything the president said at the UN General Assembly there. And the president believes that the arms trade treaty could actually be a solution to this very troubling menace. What's your take on that?
Well, thank you very much. Like you are aware, the armed treaties is a very big deal in carving out the infiltration of arms and ammunition into not only Nigeria, but even the African continent as well. Talking about West Africa, where we are, you are aware that there was a treaty, or there is a treaty of purchase and sales of arms. But most of the countries that these arms are being purchased from are not necessarily government to government. There are individuals who go into these arms purchase or arms deals as if it is a business. That is truly not helping most of the African countries, because it is being porous. So the suggestion or the request or the demands by President Muhammadu Buhari, if adhered to, I think it will help greatly in carving out these security challenges. You will recall, and every Nigerian will recall, that in not too long distance, a lot of containers were being arrested carrying arms and ammunition. Vehicles were arrested by customs and Nigerian custom and services of arresting arms, ammunition of different categories in a great number. And this has been displayed on television. Even your television, the TVC brought such kind of news at a different time in a different situation. Now you begin to ask, those arms are coming into Nigeria and the government is not aware. It is when it comes in, that is when the custom now arrests those arms. You ordinarily, you should ask, how comes individual has the ability or the power or the capacity to even purchase arms and bring into the country? And if the government is not part of the deal of bringing the arm, if the government is not part of the purchase, if the government is not aware of the purchases of arms, then how comes, who are the people and from where are they buying? This, you know, is what is giving most of the insecurity challenges we are having in Nigeria today, because you see an ordinary man who ordinarily should not, don't even know where to get arms or don't even know how to use it, but you see people carrying arms. That is where we're having, take for example, the Northeast Boko Haram issue, the banditry in the Northwest, or even in the entire northern Nigeria, or even in the southwest and southeastern part of Nigeria, where you see individuals carrying sophisticated arms. You begin to wonder, where are they getting these arms from?
Indeed, Mr. Aliyu, it's a very disturbing trend, which is the reason that a number of people have also called on the government to name and shame the financiers of terrorism in the country. But the government insists it would not reveal that, well, at the moment, because it might jeopardize its investigation into the matter. How do you see that?
I think Nigerians need to be fair to government. Like we all know, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari is doing everything humanly possible to curb crime and criminality in Nigeria. And believe me, not only in Nigeria, even in the advanced democracy, the US, for example, you don't just name arms cartel just like that, because you needed to get to arrest the major players and all the players along the line that are involved in this thing. If you just get only the major players, what happened to the others? They might not say it. You know, this is like a cult. So if the government is saying so, the president has the apparatus of security and daily briefing on security on his table. This even mentioning ordinarily, the president or the presidency are not even supposed to mention that some people are involved in the arms deal. They are supposed to have operated silently until after the operation has been completed.
But as it is,
we begin to make pronouncements.
Right, but as it is, Mr. Aliyu, that word has already gone out. We even have the international community telling us they know the finances of terrorism. And as you know, Nigerians, the way we are, everyone is really interested in that information. Let's talk about how we are battling insecurity back home in Nigeria. Nigeria. Some states, about 3 of them now, are off. Their telecommunication masts are down because the armed forces believe it's an avenue for them to actually tackle the source of insecurity in those areas. But we also know that is in some way an infringement on the rights of the people in those states. How do we marry the situation? Can you hear me, Mr. Aliyu? If you can hear me, Mr. Aliyu, I am asking about your...
I can hear you. There is an interference of a call coming in. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, I am asking about your interpretation, your reaction to the way we are tackling insurgency and terrorism back home in Nigeria. For instance, in 3 states, telecommunication has been shut down for a period of time, and it might last longer. Some other states might also get to experience that. We know that is in some way an infringement on the right of people to communicate with one another. How do you marry these techniques by the government to fight insecurity and the way it's impacting the people?
I will first of all answer your question by asking a question that I will also answer. Which one will be better between infringing on your right of not communicating and then allowing yourself to be killed unnecessarily because there is communication? I am sure every reasonable Nigerian, most especially from the north, where this issue is taking place, will prefer to have no communication for the next 2 years than to have a communication in a day that they will lose their lives and property. So the tactics adopted by government of seizing all communication links is because it has been discovered that this bandit has informant. Banditry is one thing, information or informant is another thing. There was no way how you can succeed in war when you don't have credible information. These guys are using informants to get to know the movement of the military personnel and their weapons and the tactics and the method that has been adopted in tackling insecurity. And because that has been happening, that is why we've been having challenges in tackling and carving out this insecurity. You will agree with me, and everybody watching this program will agree with me, that immediately after the cutoff of communication in Zamfara and some part of Katsina, the line of duty of our gallant Nigerian armed forces has actually improved. The level at which bandits are being killed like, flies, because they move in hundreds. They move in hundreds on a motorbike, and each motorbike carries three people, and then you find out that in one row you are having like between 300 to 700 people at once moving at a time.
All right, Mr. Aliyu, so you're saying that we've been able to achieve a level of success in this fight against insurgency based on this action taken by government. Thank you very much for joining us on TVC News at 10. Abdullahi Awwal Aliyu, a retired military officer. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.